So, human trafficking. Over 20.9 million men, women, and children are victims of human trafficking. Subalit, alam niyo ba ang human trafficking? Ang human trafficking ay pananamantala sa pangarap ng isang tao at pang-akit upang gamitin sa kapakanan ng namamantala. So, paano nila ito ginagawa? Ang human trafficking kasi ay hindi nagagawa ng agaran. Ito ay isang proseso. Merong act plus means plus purpose equals human trafficking. Sa act kasi, dyan na yung nagre-recruit sila or nangangalap na sila ng kanilang bibiktamihin. At transporting, pagdadala sa lugar kung saan sila aabusuhin. At harboring, pag sabing harboring, pagtatago sa otoridad at receiving. Okay. So, bakit hindi umaayaw at hindi humihindi ang mga biktima? Dahil gumagamit sila ng iba't ibang pamamaraan dito sa may means, threats. Okay, nagbabanta sila, pwede din force or sapilitan. Okay, abduction. Okay, pwede din sa deception or panlilin lang. At abuse of power. At nagbibigay din sila ng mga payments or benefits. Okay, so ano nga ba ang purpose ng human trafficking? Of course, exploitation. Or, pag sabing exploitation, pagsasamantala sa mga tao. Okay. So, kung napapansin nyo din sa screen, merong kinds at methods. Okay, meron dyan yung forced labor. Okay, example nito is yung domestic servitude. Okay, ang domestic servitude is a form of forced labor which the trafficker requires a victim to perform work in a private residence. Domestic workers are often isolated. Okay, pwedeng sa bahay-bahay lang. Okay, at their employer often controls their access to food, transportation, and housing. Next is forced child labor. Ito naman is mas common to sa mga child laboring, di ba? Method in which trafficker compel children to work. Okay, yung mga bata na mga 7 above, ganun, tapos pinagtatrabaho na sila na walang kapalit, walang bayad, ganun. Kinds yan ng human trafficking. So, kabilang sa kinds and methods, sex trafficking, which is common talaga nangyari sa mga kababaihan. Itong action na to is illegally transporting people from one country or another area to another purpose of sexual exploitation. Ito yung pinipilit nila ng mga kababaihan na makipag-sex, tapos i-record, ganun. Yun, i-record yung mga pangyari na kung saan is natatamaan na yung dignidad ng isang babae. So, sex trafficking. Meron ding child soldier. Ito, sa ibang bansa, merong uso talaga tong child soldier na to kung saan kinukuha nila yung mga bata para maging sundalo, pwede din sa mga espiya. Okay, yung bata na kinuha nila is pwede siyang gawing espiya sa mga iba. Siya yung magsasabi sa kanya kung ano yung mga plano, yung mga ginagawa ng kalaban nila. So, child soldier can be manifestation of human trafficking where it involves the unlawful recruitment or use of children through force. Yun nga kanina, sinabi ko, talagang sapilitan nilang pinagtatrabaho yung bata walang kapalit. Okay. So, next is yung forced marriage. Itong forced marriage na to is where one of the both people do not or cannot consent agree to the marriage. Okay? Meron kasing iba na sa forced marriage lang. Itong forced marriage na to is parang sapilitan yung kanilang pag-aasawa kahit alam nila sa sarili nila na hindi nila gusto yung isa't isa. Yung mga parang nagkasunduan lang, ganon. Kasi parang gustong makuha ng babae yung kayamanan ng lalaki o yung kayamanan ng lalaki gustong kunin ng babae. So, forced marriage. Ganun.
Argument supporting profit and economic incentive. Profit and economic incentive. Dito, ilan sa mga kriminal is nakikisali sila sa mga organizations and then nag-engage sila sa mga illegal like human trafficking para sa income. And also, ginagawa nila ito dahil iniisip nila na mas madali silang yumaman or kikita ng pera sa pamamaraang ito. And mas karaniwan siya sa mga places na may mahinang pagpapatupad ng batas. And also, yung mga parang nangailangan sila and yung illegal na gawain lamang yung nakikita nilang solution. Demand for labors. Ilan sa mga situation is nangangailangan sila ng mga sapilitang paggawa ng mali. And also, pwede nilang supportahan yung human trafficking because of their situation. And maaaring mangyari ito sa sector tulad ng agriculture, pagmamanufactura or manufacturer, or constructions. Ang pag-aabuso sa mga industriya na nangangailangan ng murang paggawa ay karaniwan sa mga lugar na may mahina o kulang-kulang na protection at regulasyon sa paggawa. Lack of legal framework. Lack of legal framework. Dito naman, ilan sa mga bansa is meron silang mahina o di sapat na legal na sistema. And maaari siyang maging dahilan kung bakit nananatili yung human trafficking sa lugar nila. And ilan sa mga bansa na merong nito ay yung mga walang epektibong law or batas o mechanism ng law enforcement upang labanan yung mga krimen. And also, mas nanatili ito sa may mga mahihinang legal na sistema, kadalasan dahil sa katiwalian o kakulangan ng yaman para sa law of enforcement. Arguments against violates human rights. Itong human trafficking is isang malubhang paglabag sa basic or sa mga karapatan ng tao or yung rights nila. And sumisira din siya sa freedom or sa kalayaan, sa dangal at kaligtasan ng isang tao. And also, kinakondena ng mga pandaigdigang organisasyon para sa karapatang pantao. Moral and ethical concerns. So next, ang moral ethical concern. Itong human trafficking, tinuturing siya na hindi moral at labag sa etika or ethics. Ito ay nang-aabuso sa mga taong mahina, kadalasang inuukit sila sa karahasan, pang-aabuso sa sexual, at hindi makatao sa mga kondisyon. International laws. Next is international law. Dito naman, maraming international na kasunduan at tratado tulad ng UNITE. Itong mga to, tuwirang kinokondena at nilalaban ang human trafficking. Domestic laws. Maraming bansa ang nagpasa ng batas upang labanan ang human trafficking na may mabigat na parusa para sa mga lumalabag. And yung mga example niya is yun sa taas. And tinakda siya ng matataas na parusa para sa mga nagtatrabaho at nagbibigay suporta sa mga biktima.
Good day everyone. Sa part na to, I will be presenting examples of cases of human trafficking, both local and foreign. So, unahin muna natin yung local na panoorin.
Taong 2014 nung na-recruit ng sindikatong ito, si Jenny Rose, mula bayan ng Alicia sa Zamboanga, Sibugay.
Ang istorya nila, mag-recruit sila og mananagat. Yes, labutan pag na sila atong panahon na ma'am. Kuyog pod mi.
Sino ba naman daw kasi ang hindi maeengganyo kung hindi ka pa nagsisimula sa trabaho? Inabutan na kaagad si Jenny Rose ng 15,000.
Dito wala kaming bangka, wala kaming makina.
May kuno mo kamtang nito makaadto mi dito nya.
Kaya si Jenny Rose kasama ang buo pa niyang pamilya dinala sa malayong isla ng Tubalubak sa Sulu. 10 oras ang layo gamit ang bangka mula Zamboanga City. Payak ang buhay sa isla. Ang kabuhayan, pagpalaot at panghuhuli ng isda.
Walang pulis doon, walang munisipyo, walang barangay. Pero sila ang gobyerno dito ba?
Pero ang inaasahan ni na Jenny Rose na kaginhawaan, iba sa kanilang nadatnan.
Mga bata dito magtrabaho pa bisan mga gagmay. Pamuspusan sila o kaning mga silig, kahoy. Nagayo kag bastrukon kag pusil dito. Daghan sila pusil sa sulod sa ilang balay.
Hindi rin daw sila halos siniswelduhan.
Nya kay lain na sila magbalanse ma'am kay dako pa man among utang kontra sa among halin.
Wa mi may mo, suko mo silang mo likramo mi.
Pati nga anak ni Ginny Rose, ang nooy 10 taong gulang lang na si Sofia, pinagtrabaho.
Isig kaya akong kaimtang dito kay nagtrabaho ko, nagbulad og isda, ang labas sa ilaha, nya maghimbis pa sa isda. Gusto ko mugawas kay nisakpan man ko nila.
Kalaunan, si Sofia sa isla na nakapangasawa, ang tubong Bohol na si Junel.
Pag sumama kami, bigyan kami ng 10,000. Kala ko maayos na paghanap buhay, yun pala hindi.
So, napanood natin yung isang case tungkol na nangyari dito sa Pilipinas tungkol sa human trafficking. So, napanood natin ang isang case about human trafficking dito sa Pilipinas. Makikita nyo sa video na sa una aalokin sila ng trabaho at papakitaan ng malaking halaga para maengganyo sila at sumama yung mga biktima. So pagkatapos dinadala sila sa isang isla, sa isang malayong isla na kung saan ay walang pulis or munisipyo or kahit anong tao na pwede nilang pagsumbungan, kaya wala silang choice kung di magstay doon at magtrabaho. Isa pang dahilan, wala sindikato yung humahawak sa kanila, sinasaktan sila pag hindi sila sumusunod. Kaya stranded sila doon at wala silang mahingan ng tulong. So sa pagtatrabaho daw, pinagpapagamit sila ng droga, pati yung mga bata para ganahan sa pagtatrabaho. So sobrang tagal nila na nando doon, yung iba doon na rin nagkapamilya, doon na nag-asawa. So yun. Next tayo sa foreign case of human trafficking.
Working as a tea boy was not part of the dream. But 19-year-old Santosh is not where he wanted to be, and he's not who he used to be. He's always reminded of what was stolen from him by his car. His body has to adapt to just one kidney.
They must be punished for this. My body is damaged. I faint. I can't do hard labor. And I find it difficult to stand for too long.
This is the cost of being poor in Nepal. Millions of workers leave their countryside villages because they have no choice.
I have 4 sisters and a mother back home. I'm the only breadwinner and have 6 mouths to feed. I have a very small farm, and we have been making no money.
In June, men came to his village in central Nepal with the promises of a new job in India. They took him to New Delhi, the capital in northwestern India, and said he needed a blood test in Kolkata. There he was drugged, and doctors removed one of his 2 kidneys. The traffickers gave him $4,500 and sent him packing back to Nepal.
They asked me to say yes to whatever the doctor asked. I didn't understand Hindi, so I just said yes to anything he asked. And then he did this to me.
Over the last 2 decades, dozens of men from villages in Nepal have either voluntarily sold their kidneys or were trafficked and duped into it. In Santosh's village, we meet Dan Bahadur Malla. He led the investigative team that found Santosh. They busted 2 trafficking rings and made the largest number of arrests of kidney traffickers in Nepal in a decade.
COVID-19 has played a key role in increasing human and kidney trafficking. People have lost livelihoods and have no jobs, but they need money to survive. Traffickers see this as an opportunity to mislead people who are in economically hard situations.
We drove to villages across this district in central Nepal known as Kidney Valley. In some, traffickers and victims live as neighbors and were angry at our presence. Driving off-road up the hill is the only way in. This tiny village in East Nepal is nestled on a beautiful hilltop, but it has a tragic reality. It is said that almost every man who lives here has just one kidney. As one mother told me, her son was born in equal, but life had other plans.
My older son gave his kidney a few years back. He used to work as a construction worker. Now he struggles with life. He's weaker and gets sick easily.
69-year-old Kali trudges on with life, burdened by poverty. A few years ago, her oldest son sold his kidney in India for fewer than $500.
I don't know how he's able to live with just one kidney. It gives me sleepless nights. He can only do light work. He can't lift heavy weights. I worry about him.
The next victim is close. I walked next door to meet the Bardeva family.
Dito sa foreign case na to, parang sa una-unang video din, na kung saan ay aalokin sila kunwari ng trabaho. Then, pag sumama sila, lolokoil lang pala sila. Yung victim na napanood natin, dinala daw siya sa isang lugar na kung saan ay na-require siya na pumunta sa isang hospital na magpa-blood test daw. Pero ang ginawa sa kanya is pinainom or tinusukan siguro ng droga, tapos nung wala na siyang malay, dun na siya tinanggalan ng kidney. At nung paggising niya, saka na lang niya nalaman. So ang epekto nun ay di na siya nakapagtrabaho ng maayos at nahihirapan siya dahil sa mga nangyari sa kanya. Next tayo dito sa statistical analysis, bar graph ng cases ng human trafficking in general sa mula 2007 and 2017. So ito ang bar graph ng statista sa Pilipinas about sa lahat ng klase ng human trafficking. So may pinakamababang cases na naitala is nung 2017 na nasa 144 cases lang daw. And then pinakamataas is noong 2014 na nagtala ng 1,124 cases of human trafficking sa buong Pilipinas. So next dito sa statistical analysis na to, mula 2008 hanggang 2022, itong statistical analysis na to is pang buong mundo. Lahat ng bilang ng cases sa buong mundo is nakatala dito. So ang may pinakamababa and then ang pinakamataas naman na cases sa buong mundo ng human trafficking is noong 2019 na nagkaroon ng 120,000 cases sa buong mundo.
Human rights are an important aspect of Catholic teaching and are relevant to students within the Catholic education system. The Catholic Church recognizes the inherent dignity of every human person and believes that all individuals have fundamental rights that should be respected and protected. In the Catholic education system, human rights play a significant role and are considered essential teachings. The Catholic Church firmly believes in the inherent dignity of every human being, regardless of their background or circumstances. There are many types of human person related to Catholic and students. Number one is dignity of the human person. The Catholic Church teaches all that human beings are created in the image and likeness of God. Therefore, possess inherent dignity and worth. These beliefs forms the foundation for the recognition and promotion of human rights. According to Catholic teaching, all human beings are created in the image and likeness of God. This belief establishes the foundation for recognizing and promoting human rights. It means that every person has an inherent worth and deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. Number two is right to life. The Catholic strongly upholds the right to life from conception to natural death. This includes opposition to abortion, euthanasia, and capital punishment. The Catholic Church places great emphasis on the right to life. considering it sacred from the moment of conception until natural death. These include opposing practices such as abortion, euthanasia, and capital punishment. Protecting and cherishing human life in all its forms is seen as a fundamental aspect of Catholic teaching. Number 3 is right to education. The Catholic Church recognizes the right to education as fundamental human right. Catholic educational institutions aim to provide quality education that nurtures the intellectual, spiritual, and moral development of students. The Catholic Church acknowledges education as fundamental human right. Catholic educational institutions strive to provide students with a quality education that nurtures their intellectual, spiritual, and moral development. Education is viewed as a means to empower individuals and promote their overall well-being. Number 4 is freedom of religion. The Catholic Church supports the freedom of individuals to practice their religion and to express their beliefs. Students in Catholic educational institutions have the right to receive religious education and participate in religious activities in accordance with their own faith. The Catholic Church supports the freedom of individuals to practice their religion, express their beliefs. Within Catholic educational institutions, students have the right to receive religious education and engage in religious activities in accordance with their own faith. This freedom also entails respecting the religious rights of others. Number 5 is social justice. The Catholic Church emphasizes the principles of social justice, which include the promotion of equality, solidarity, and the protection of rights of the marginalized and vulnerable. Students are encouraged to work towards creating a just society that respects the rights and dignity of all individuals. The Catholic Church places significant emphasis on the principle of social justice. These principles include promoting equality, solidarity, and protecting the rights of marginalized and vulnerable individuals and communities. Students are encouraged to actively work toward creating a just society that respects the rights and dignity of all individuals. Number 6 is respect for diversity. Catholic teaching promotes respect for diversity of cultures, races, and ethnicities. Students are encouraged to appreciate this and celebrate the unique gifts and talents of each person, fostering a sense of inclusivity and respect for human rights. The Catholic teachings promotes respect for the diversity of cultures, races, and ethnicities. Students are encouraged to appreciate and celebrate the unique gifts and talents of each person, fostering a sense of inclusivity and respect for human rights. Valuing diversity enriches the educational experience and contributes to a more harmonious society. The last one is opposition to discrimination. The Catholic Church opposes all forms of discrimination, including those based on race, gender, religion, or sexual orientation. Students are encouraged to treat others with respect and dignity and to stand against discrimination and injustice. Upholding human rights means actively working towards eliminating discriminatory practices and promoting a culture of inclusion and equality.